Arma 3 is a third installation of the Arma franchise from Bohemia Interactive Studios. It was released back in November of 2013, but this Thursday we will receive the final DLC from the Czech Republic studio for free. This DLC is free for anyone that owns or plans to purchase Arma 3 through Steam, and will add in the third and final installation of the single-player campaign, as well as the much-awaited Zeus DLC. I'm going to spend a short amount of time discussing the campaign so far, and spend more time discussing the multiplayer, because whenever anyone plays Arma, they play it for the multiplayer. I'll have to clarify all that later, but first, the campaign. I would have to look up the Wikipedia article or someone else's synopsis of the campaign to tell you more, but essentially what I can pick up on from the catastrophically short intro video when you start the game is that NATO forces have been deployed to Greece during a time of civil unrest and rebellion. Forces known as the AAF have risen to power in the Aegean Sea and have taken over a majority of the Aegean islands in the region. They have eventually made a peace treaty with NATO and have begun working together to suppress the civil war. Tensions in the east rise when another militant organization known as CSAT has come to play nearby, contesting Turkey and other areas of the eastern Mediterranean. NATO forces for some reason have decided that now is the time to pull out of the area and leave control of everything to the AAF. From this point, they drop you into the game as Corporal Carey, with no backstory or any other information. You take a quick chopper flight around the first island, then you drive a truck for a bit. It becomes apparent very soon that some shady stuff is about to occur.
Come on, it's hardly like it's a surprise. The economy's been in a fucking tank for a decade at least.
And you are the only person that will see it coming. I'll leave the rest of the story for you to discover on your own, but if you ever have played or read anything made by Tom Clancy, then you will pick up on what will go down pretty quickly. People shoot at each other, you try your best to survive, and eventually the good guys win. It's honestly the best attempt that Bohemia Interactive has made at making a single-player campaign, thanks in part to how gorgeous the game is, and also thanks to how much more fluid all of the control and movements are. If you've ever played Arma 2, and then you've played Arma 3, you will know what I'm talking about.
Fast mover!
The Arma series was first and foremost made to be a military simulation. Bohemia has even made program simulations for the US military, but this is the first time that they have focused on making it much more accessible to the average gamer. Controls are intuitive, player movement is much more natural and smooth, and everything about being an infantryman on the ground is just much more engaging. Overall, I enjoyed playing the campaign because of my experience with the previous games, but this may be much slower paced and painful for anyone else who is not into that sort of thing. I don't expect many people to actually play the campaign or even remember that this game has one, which is really just a shame.
You know this whole place used to be British.
Like a colony or some shit?
Yeah.
Shit, figures. Of course, we'd be cleaning up their mess now.
Now on to Arma 3 multiplayer. Arma is multiplayer. If you play something like Halo, or Call of Duty, Gears of War, any other game that has multiplayer, you will experience some very similar things. You jump into a lobby, the matchmaking finds a game for you, and you play a game with other people with little effort on your part. It is a formula that works well, and is great for the gamer that wants to play a quick game before moving on to real life. Arma's multiplayer, however, is made from the community of players. Bohemia Interactive does not support any multiplayer servers, nor does it automatically find games for you. Individual players or groups will create their own servers with whatever settings they please and invite their friends. The range of what can be done is quite astounding. A community of modders and scripters and players will create whatever scenarios they want and run with it, even if it might not work without any extra bugs or glitches. People refer to Arma as a military simulation, but in reality is much more of a military sandbox. There are so many toys to play with, and all the tools you need to make it happen are available. Players make and add in vehicles, weapons, clothing, scripts for running extra features, and even entirely new maps to play on, even though Altus is one of the largest virtual landscapes there is. Player versus player, team versus team versus AI, or any other variation of whatever you want. AI are enabled if you would like, and you can always tinker with their difficulty. So even if it seems like they are unforgiving and unfair, You can turn them down to blind and uncoordinated, or whatever suits your desired level of difficulty. Planes and tanks and cars and boats, oh my. You can go underwater, run on land, climb a mountain, or soar through the sky. It is a literal sandbox. I have spent thousands of hours playing Arma with what I now call close friends. It is such a social experience that I will keep in touch with my Arma friends outside of the game. No other multiplayer medium has ever put me in a position to even want to become real friends with random people I have met over the internet. The game is gorgeous, the controls and movements are well done, and the experience is like nothing I've ever seen. It's a large and complicated game that always provides new things to do and see. Bohemia Interactive made the right decision back in the days of Armed Assault by allowing players to use the same tools that the developers did to make the game. Without the community of people behind so much of what goes in the space of military simulation and tomfoolery, there would not be an Arma 3. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check in every week, where I will explore games you may not have heard of and give my own review of new releases and indie titles. Until we meet again, take some time to enjoy the view.